Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yes, it's another episode of the Friday Night Hangout. And I'm your host, Joy Onyeso. I'm always delighted to welcome you to another exciting Friday Night Hangout. And I look forward to our conversations that would happen tonight. So let's just give some few more minutes and see who is live and allow people to come in on the show. Yay, welcome, 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 welcome. Woo! It's another episode of the Friday Night Hangout. So when you're coming in, please do let me know where you are joining in from. Let me know where you're joining in from. Welcome. Put your name and where you're joining in from in the chat box. It's Friday night hangout. Yeah. Let's celebrate. We're celebrating today. And while you're at it, please let me know how your week has been. Mine has been super, super busy. Very busy, in fact, super, super busy. But I'm very delighted to have this opportunity to be here with you tonight. So let me know how your week has been. I'm trying to look through the comments here to see. Okay. Let's know how your week has been. Welcome. This is a safe space where we get to distress, where we get to have fun, and where we learn and interact at the same time. So put it in the chat box. Let me know. Welcome. I'm trying to set up this other phone. Good evening, Princess. How are you? Hey, I see you. Welcome. Nice to see you. How has your week been? How has your week been? Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We're going to be having a very interesting conversation tonight. A very unusual one, if you ask me. We're going to be looking at how to leverage on our weaknesses to grow. How do you leverage on your weaknesses to grow? It's also part of celebrating yourself. You can't just celebrate your strengths. You need to accept yourself, your flaws, your weaknesses, everything about you. All that makes you you is what you are celebrating. And so, in celebrating yourself, you love yourself, your strength, your weaknesses, everything about you. It doesn't mean that you're living in denial. It simply means that you're willing to give yourself 1,001 opportunities to become the best version of yourself. So, let me know where you're joining in from, and we'll go into that conversation. And I told you, we've been having this new feature on the Friday Night Hangout where we spotlight an Amazon. And tonight we're having a super Amazon who is joining us tonight. And I'm looking forward to having her join us for 10-15 minutes where she would share her experiences with us. And it's also important to know that she's a member of my tribe, and she'll be sharing her experience, what it means to be a member of our tribe and all that comes with it. Joining in from Enugu. I'm doing great, Mama. My week has been very busy but productive. How has your week been? My week has been super productive, super busy. Really super busy because from tomorrow we're having the Wills Congress, and it's a lot. It's the first time we're hosting it virtual, so it's just been a lot meetings, these final dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So it's just been a lot happening. But it's been very productive, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful to be here. and I want to know how your week has been. I'm happy to know, Princess, that your week has been great and productive. For everyone who joined in here, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. I'm very excited to have you in here. And please do know that this is your safe space. The Friday night hangout was created to be a safe platform where we all have that safe space to share, to learn, and also to get inspired to keep being the best version of ourselves. So this show, if it's the first time you're joining in, you're going to get, strategies, you're going to have tools, and most importantly, a very healthy network of individuals who are committed to their self growth. And tonight we are going to be talking about growing by leveraging on our weaknesses, and is all part of celebrating yourself. Now, if you've been following me or you're in my community, you will know that I'm really so, tops on doing a personal audit. It's always important to conduct a personal audit. What does that mean? Um, the personal audit simply means you being able to assess yourself, to know your. Just a second, please. I'm trying to. Just a minute. Okay, now I can see. Oh, great. I wasn't seeing the comments before, but now I can see the comments. Yeah, great. So, you know, conducting a personal audit means you give yourself the opportunity to know you, to meet you, and to keep in action. And what this means is, okay, what this means is that you take out time, you're very intentional in studying your strength, studying your weaknesses, understanding the opportunities that exist for you and the threats that exist for you. Now, if you're able to do all of this, you would keep in action. It will help you not to live in denial. It will help you to know what next to do, how to strengthen your capacity. It will know when you need to delegate certain things, because when you know your strength, you would know that there's certain things you don't want to do. Like, I know my weaknesses, and I don't want to expend so much energy doing certain things I know I don't have patience for, I don't have the relevant skill set to do. I'll rather outsource it and get people who love it, because for everything that there is out there, there are people who love it, who it is their passion. For instance, writing. For some of you, you don't like to write, and for some other people, wow, they love writing. I love to write. For some others, it may, but not basic writing. Everyone needs to know how to do basic writing. If you're a business owner, you're a professional, or whatever, you need to be able to do those basic writing. But I'm talking about in-depth writing. Some of us don't like to do that. So if that's you, that's fine. You can outsource that. For some persons, it is numbers. They're not very good in numbers. They don't have patience with numbers. Then you need to get a numbers person. So if you are running a business and your thing is not numbers, you just need to have someone who could do all the basics around numbers, but then you need to understand it. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to get so much involved in doing it, but you need to be able to understand it. So when the person does it and presents it to you, you're able to understand numbers, because you can't be running a business without understanding your numbers. Your numbers is what keeps your business going on, right? Now, what does it mean to really, when we talk about understanding your weaknesses and leveraging it for your growth? I want you to reflect on that. And while you're reflecting on that, I want you to ask yourself this question: what is my weakness, or what are my weaknesses? And if you have your pen and paper there, please just write it down. Write down what your weaknesses are or weakness is. Write it down. Write it down. And then we're going to reflect on and even have conversations on how you can use this as an opportunity for growth. Now, I say this, and I'm really very intentional about having this conversation tonight, because some of us have used our areas of weakness as an opportunity to to love ourselves, not to, acknowledge ourselves, not to be kind on ourselves. We tend to beat ourselves up. Listen, let me tell you, as long as you're a human being, you're imperfect and you must have flaws. Nobody is 100% perfect. And you're not even meant to be perfect. So if you're such a person that like to be perfect, please come out from that space. No one is perfect. So you have your flaws, you have your weaknesses, but the key thing is understanding these flaws and weaknesses and remaining committed to, remaining committed to working on them so that you can use them as an opportunity for your growth. That means leveraging on your weaknesses as an opportunity to grow yourself, as an opportunity to expand yourself. But then you need to be sincere with yourself and know what your weaknesses really are. Some of us like to keep that thing that we're all perfect, everything is okay, nothing is wrong with us. But let me tell you, as long as you're a human being, you have weaknesses. And the sooner you get to understand what they are, the better for you and everyone around you, right? Now, tonight we're going to be spotlighting an Amazon who has been able to transcend the space. She has been able to leverage on her weaknesses to grow into a better version of herself, because that's what we're talking about this night. It's not just about knowing your weaknesses. After knowing your weaknesses, what do you do with it? What do you do with that weaknesses? So the critical thing is opportunity for growth. Now, let me share a personal story with you. And this is to let you know that we all have a space where we're coming from. It's important that you get to know yourself. One of the things I found about myself over the years is when I get so stressed, when I get so tensed, I get a little bit jumpy. I get jumpy, I get irritated, and then it's very easy for me to lose my temper because I'm already so jumpy, I'm anxious, I'm tensed, and all of that. And so when I noticed this about myself, I began to be very intentional about it. So one of the things I would do is to let people in my space know that I'm tensed, that I'm under pressure. So I would tell them, say, I'm really under pressure now. I'm really tensed. So vocalizing it helps to keep me, not just for the people in my space, but also for me, to keep me aware and intentional as to how I manage myself. So knowing that I'm tensed, I'm under, of course, when you're stressed, you're under pressure, you get tense, you get anxious, and all of those. So when I know that, I become more intentional and I will say it. So I'll keep saying, okay, I'm working under pressure, I'm tensed. That's one of the things I do. Then the second thing I also do is that I tend to extract myself from very busy spaces. I'm an extroverted introvert, so I love my personal space a lot. Now, when I am relaxed, when I am calm, it's easy for me to get along in very busy spaces. But when I am under pressure, when I'm stressed, that is when I crave for my personal space so much. And so I know this about myself. And so when I'm in that very busy, very precious space, I also try to make sure I manage those who come into my space and those who have access to me, right? So the key thing here is, the first thing I'm saying here is know yourself. For me, it's not a one cap size fits all. When you know yourself, you would know what you would do that would help you, move in the right direction, moving in a direction that is healthy for you and healthy for people around you, because it's also about you and what you bring into the space. So I don't want to leverage on the fact that because I'm pressured and I go nya 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 on everyone. So when I notice that that is where it's going to tilt to, I extract myself from that space. I just extract myself from that space. So that's one way I've been able to manage pressure. I've been able to manage, like I said, I'm an extroverted introvert. Very difficult to believe, but that's who I am. So I love my personal space a lot. I love my personal space a lot. So when I've done all of these things, and with people a lot, I'm in crowd, I'm in the public space, I always crave to go back to that, my quiet and safe space. So if you know you're that kind of person, then you need to know how you plan yourself. So if you know you're that kind of person that loves your space a lot, then you need to know how to plan and manage around it, right? So that you don't use that as an excuse for jumping at people who come into your space. So just reflect on it. What are some of the weaknesses you know you do have? And then I want you to reflect on ways you can manage those weaknesses. Remember, we're talking about leveraging on your weaknesses for growth is all part of celebrating yourself. Is all part of celebrating yourself. Yes. Know yourself and then your weaknesses. So it's all part of celebrating yourself. Now, the next thing I would like you to do is remember I said for some of us, we know our weaknesses. And instead of us looking at opportunities to leverage on it to grow, we use as an opportunity to denigrate ourselves. We don't need anyone to do that for us. You tell yourself, oh, Joy, you are this, you are that. Can't you manage yourself? Better manage your emotions. Da, da, da. You're human. You're really human. And it's okay to be human. But like I would always say, what you do with your emotions, what you do with your weaknesses is what differentiates you from the next person. So also ask yourself, if it was someone that you love that exhibit this tendency, what would you do? Would you give the person a second opportunity? Would you tell the person? Would you want to work with the person to overcome that? And then if that is yes, why can't you be kind on yourself as well? When the Bible says love your neighbor as you love yourself, it is very deep. You can't give what you don't have. If you do not love yourself, you cannot love someone else. If you don't love yourself, it's very difficult for you to extend that love to the next person. So if you're patient with yourself, it will make you to be patient with the next person. Because oftentimes we project. What we do is we project. If you find that you're always judging, you're very judgmental, you're always in a space where you're judging people, look inwards, you're also judging yourself. And then you project it onto people. So I will tell you tonight to please try and be kind on yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Whereas you're focusing on all your weaknesses, on all the gaps, can you look at what you're doing that is right? Can you look at some of the things that you're doing that is very productive? It may not look so big in your eyes, but I tell you, some of that person would be watching that and saying, I wish I could do this like Joy. Oh, I wish I could do this like Princess. Oh, I wish I could do this like Ngozi. And there you are, not appreciating that aspect of yourself. And the fact is, until you learn to appreciate yourself, until you learn to acknowledge that you have weaknesses and that your weaknesses do not define you, you will not be able to relate healthily with the next person. You will project that to the next person. And that is where, you have a lot of issues in relationships because people would be so judgmental. They want people to be perfect and all of those. And it just doesn't work that way. So I tell you to be patient with yourself and be patient with others. So I'm going to be bringing on very shortly who is part of the tribe, who has grown from strength to strength, who have discovered herself. So what I'm doing in this month of celebrating yourself is to look at women who have surmounted barriers, women who have learned to discover themselves, worked on their weaknesses. And why am I spotlighting them on the Friday night hangout? Is to let you know that you can do it as well. You're not alone. Your weaknesses do not define you. You're not alone. You can really grow. You can really work on yourself and use those things that you think are limitations and use them as a step to your success, as a step to building the life of your dream. So quit being hard on yourself. Quit being very judgmental of yourself and be kind to yourself. Learn how to practice self-love. So very shortly, I'm going to be bringing on an Amazon Philomena Zamani, and she's going to be joining us. Let me add her to the stream. I hope Philo can hear or see us. Hello, Philomena, are you with us? Okay, so while we wait for Philomena to join us, we would continue, and I know she's having network challenges. So Hello, Philo, are you here?
Yes, ma.
Please, can you put your so we can see you because everywhere is dark.
Mm,
Or we can hear you very well. So if you can put your camera, see. There's so much in your background. Can you ask the people in your background to reduce the noise?
okay. Madam,
So can you put on your camera to see you? You're live already. We're
uh,
already live. So put on your camera so we can see you. If you're just joining in, welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Hangout. I'm super excited to welcome you. And tonight we are discussing learning on your weaknesses for your growth. You can actually use your weaknesses as a stepping block, building block for your growth. So practice self kindness, practice self love. Your weaknesses do not define you at all. I see you, Princess. I see you, Rosemary. Thank God it's Friday. Let me know where you're joining in from. Um, as you know, it's been challenged with seeing some comments. I don't know, today most of my comments are off and I can't see people. So please do forgive me. You know, network can act up sometimes. So it's not intentional if I don't call your name. Just put in where you're joining in from and your thank God it's Friday. And of course I would acknowledge you. If I can't see you now, definitely after the show acknowledge you. So please do bear with me. So while we're waiting for Philomena to put on her camera, are you having challenges? You
I
want us to
can.
take your
Can you see me now?
No, we can't. Your camera is your camera. Which of the I see you on two devices. Devices, but your camera is. Let me remove you from this one and see, and then let me add you. Let's see. Okay. We still cannot see you. We can see your camera is not on. Everywhere is dark where you are, so we can't see you. There's a lot of noise at your background. Can you reduce
Okay.
the noise? Okay, so trying to get Philo's camera up so we can see her. But Philo, if we cannot see you, we can just go ahead and listen
Camera.
to your voice, and then
Can you
we'll
see me
just
now?
take your. We can't see you yet. Everywhere is dark. Your end, we can't see you. Check your camera is switched on, but most likely your camera is not switched on. Most likely your camera is not switched on. Okay, so maybe we can take some ads while we're trying to get Philo to sort out. While we're trying to sort out Philo's camera, let's take some ads and
Hi,
then
do
we'll
you
be
have
back
issues with
shortly.
public speaking? Is it a problem
Um,
each time you
let's try and sort out Philo's camera while we take
Hi,
some
do you
ads,
have
right?
issues with
So
public speaking? Is it a problem each time you stand to address an audience? Do you feel this overwhelming anxiety that comes over you and it feels as though you just can't do it? Are you the type that would delegate speaking opportunities to a subordinate because you're afraid? You feel so inadequate. You have loss of self-esteem as a result, and you watch your dreams slip because you just can't face a crowd. I've got good news for you. My name is Ngozi Ebo. I'm the world's best public speaking coach. I'd like to take you through a 3-week course that would help you deal with the fear of public speaking. It's called the Crush Your Fear course. I will take you by the hand and show you amazing ways to deal with the fear of public speaking. I will show you how to tap into your amazing personality and soar, how to maximize your power and build amazing confidence, how to make your fears work for you as you channel your nerves into positive energy. Learn simple practical steps to crush your fear and break your limits. Wow, what are you waiting for? Hook up with me right now. You can visit my website on www.ngoziebo.com, or you could call 0803 686 5546. Register with this course. Crush Your Fear course begins August 1, 2022. It will be my pleasure to show you how to live above the fear of public speaking and so on. See you in the class.
Hello everyone, I am Ihechi Emeka. Hello everyone, I am Ihechi Emeka, the CEO of Ihechi Visual World. Ihechi Visual World is a registered advertising company that creates visibilities for brands in order to increase their conversion rate through the creation of visuals. Our services include creation of all kinds of video ads for businesses, brands, birthday celebration, documentaries, intros, etc. And other services include graphic design, web design, printing services. Over the years, EHT Visual World has received so many testimonials and reviews from our amazing clients of how our services has increased their visibility and has increased their conversion rate. For more details, you can follow us at Instagram with EHT Visual World, or you can call 081 620 33468. EHT Visual World is your surest plug for all kinds of visibilities. Contact us today. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hey, so we're back. Let's see if we can add on. Yes, we can see her now. Hey, great. Oh, her camera has gone off again. Philo, are you there? Oh my goodness. What's happening? Your camera has gone off again. Can you hear
I'm
me?
here.
Oh,
Yes,
but
I
your
can hear
camera
you.
has. Okay, we can't see you. Oh, great. We can see you now better. Hey, great. After all, wahala. Resilience. That's one thing we always learn. Resilience, the
Yeah.
importance of being resilient.
Yes,
So, a
good evening, ma'am.
big welcome to
And
you.
thank you.
Manny, we're so excited to have you on the Friday night hangout. Yes, finally, we have her in here. And
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, ma.
herself very shortly. Tell us who she is, what she does. I'm super excited to introduce her, to have her join us on this show because Philomena is an Amazon. She's been in my tribe for a while. And as a result of going through some of the programs and her commitment to her personal development, she has really grown. And today we're talking about leveraging on our weaknesses for growth. And I'm going to be asking her some questions. Like I did with Ezine, it is very organic. I didn't tell her what I'm going to ask her. So I put her on the hot seat. When you're on the spotlight, you're on the hot seat. And we're going to ask you questions. And please do feel free to put down your questions for Philo on the chat box. And if she can't sit, I'll sit and I'll ask her the questions. Okay, so let's go right in. Now, Philo, very big welcome to you once again. And tonight we're talking about celebrating yourself, and we're looking at leveraging on our weaknesses for growth. Network, you can't be acting up at this time. Tell this network not to act up again. Let's see. Let me see if I can. The network is just acting up. What have we done to your network? Let's give a little bit of time and see if she'll be able to come in. The network is challenging. Running an online show in Nigeria is It requires grace. It requires real grace. Okay, the network has knocked her out. Uh, network has knocked her out. Mm, let's see. Let me wait and see if she's going to come in. But if you're just joining in, welcome to the Friday night hangout. And tonight, oh, great. I see Chizoba, welcome. Olivia, welcome. Floxy, welcome. Olivia, nice to have you. Edith, nice to have you. Thank you for joining in. Let's stay focused and see if we can have Philomena join us in. The network is crazy. And so I'll still be checking to see when she comes back into the studio. So tonight we're talking about leveraging on your weaknesses for growth. And I talked about, first of all, having a SWOT analysis on yourself, knowing what your strengths are, your weaknesses are, the opportunities you have, and some of the threats. And I said it's very important that you do not just focus on your strengths, but also identify your weakness. But from the point of, closing the gap, not really for berating yourself or flogging yourself, because some of us, that's what we know how to do. Before you talk, they say, I don't know, they talk down on themselves. They use very negative language on themselves. Words have so much power. And I'll ask you to be very mindful of the words you use on yourself. Do not use strong negative words on yourself. Let me tell you what happens when you do that. The more you say those words aloud, the words become life. They come alive and they begin manifesting in your life. So even to your children, to people, stop using very strong negative words or any negative words at all. The words you speak out they just start breathing and take on a life shape, and before you know it, you see it manifesting in different areas. Welcome Ozioma, welcome Stella, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So please mind the words you say on yourself. Let me see if Philo is here, and then we can bring her on. Today is today. Philo, are you here? Philomena? Okay, so while we're waiting for her to come, we won't give up. So mind the words you use on yourself. Be kind to yourself. So when you identify your weakness, the next thing is, how can I close this gap? And I remember I said, also ask yourself, if it's somebody that I love so much that have this weakness, perhaps you have somebody who is slow. Some people are very slow in processing their thoughts. I used to be that way. Like I'm super fast in processing thoughts. Sometimes it makes me even speak so fast. And then it took an effort. I became very intentional about being patient with people who are slow in processing their thoughts. So when you're telling me something, I could just quickly I could just connect the dots and know where the whole stuff is going to. So I will just be impatient, So what I will do is, I will tell you, I said, what, tell me the result and then tell me the story. So once I know the result, it helps me to remain calm and I want to know what happened, And then sometimes I'll just be very, very intentional and just wait out, because everyone can be you. Everyone can be you. And we're all different people. And that's why diversity can be a source of great strength. And if we don't understand it, diversity can also be a source of serious conflict, very serious conflict. And so we need to be very intentional in looking at people who are different from ourselves as unique as well, just as we are unique. And you don't have to make everyone to be like you. So you just need to be very intentional in knowing that I process things very quickly. Some other persons do not process very quickly. I'm not very good at anything like this art things, or I don't have patience with all of those stuff. So some people have the patience with some of those stuff. So you just know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and then try to close the gap. Try to work out a strategy for relating with others without using yourself as a template, without projecting yourself to them and wanting them to do exactly as you do. So your strengths you will project, your weaknesses you will project. So just be very mindful
Hi,
about
do
that,
you have
that you do
issues
not
with public
project and
speaking? Is
you're
it a
creating
problem
conflict.
each time you stand to address an audience? Do you feel this?
No ads for now, please. Thanks. So finally, we've gotten Philo. So I don't want to waste this time before her network goes crazy. So Philo, I was welcoming you and asking you to just tell us a little bit about yourself. Let us get to meet you. Let the tribe get to meet you. So tell us, who is Philomena Zamani? Let's get to meet her.
My first of all, I thank you very much, Ion, for this opportunity. And my name is Philomena Zamani. I am from Kaduna State. I am one of Ion's mentee, and a whole lot. She's my hero. I look up to her, and I want to be like her when I grow up.
You want to be like the best version of yourself.
She's always saying that, yes, I want to be the best version of myself. Thank you.
So tell us more about Philomena. What does Philomena like? Remember, today we're talking about leveraging on weaknesses to grow. And I deliberately put you on the hot seat. I remember Philo was asking me, so what are you going to ask me? I said, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to. I've seen you,
Yes.
and I'm confident that I just want you to speak your truth. I want you to be authentic in expressing yourself. It's about you speaking your truth, you being authentic, and a lot of people would also learn from you and tap into your grace and tap into your growth, because you have grown a lot, and I want you to recognize that. So this is putting you on the hot seat for a positive thing, right? So tell
Yes.
us a little bit about yourself in terms of um, where were you 4 years back, 5 years back, and where have you seen yourself, and where do you see yourself in the future, and where are you currently?
Okay. So, as I already said, my name is Philomena Zamani. I am from Kaduna State. Now, now back to who I used to be before. I'm very quiet. I can be in a room with a number of people and I won't say a word. I can even be in the room with one person and I won't even say anything to the person. The only thing I would just greet and then sit down there and not say a word. And I'm a very inside person. I'm introverted. I like a very serene places, sit down, think. I do a lot of speaking inside of me, and instead of speaking out, I I used to think that I couldn't do anything because I was used to people doing things for me, and then so if I think that I need to do anything, I feel that I cannot do it. There's this fear that I cannot define around me. I it's always like, can I do it? Can I not do it? And then hello, I met Iom. It's a long story, but then when we met and after going through a series of her sessions, classes, and all the programs that she offers, and even before I started joining that, she kept telling me that Philo, you can do this, you can do that, and sometimes she gives me some roles that I feel I cannot do it. And I'm wondering, I can't do it. And sometimes I go, I remember then I would run away, I wouldn't even do it. And I'll come back with excuses. So and when she kept complaining about this, now before she started complaining, she felt I think it was a period of her before she got to know me. She felt um I wasn't open. I was hiding and a whole lot of things. But she took time to study me. That was what I would say, because not everybody like comes out and tells me these days. When she tells me some things, and I just start smiling because I like she has read me already. So I won't say anything, but she pushed me to the extent. She kept saying, "You do this, you do that. If you do," and she would say, "This and this and this is how you do it, or you must do it. You have to do it. Philo, you have to be the best." That's the word she's always using. You have to be the best version of yourself. And I kept wondering, the best. What's the best version? What can I do? And there was a time she gave me a task. I won't forget. And I wrote. Now I like to write, but I don't like to think. I don't like to think too much. So I wrote like what I felt should be written and I sent it to her. And she said it's not it. Go back and do this. I was like, wow. So I went back, did it. She came back and she said, go back and do that. Philo, think deep. Think deep. And I was like, wow, now I have to go and think. So she forced me, like she knew where, like, so she forced me to go back and bring myself out. That's the word I would use. So I had to do that. So it was a journey. It's not I'm just saying this now, like it just happened, but it was a journey. Because if you know me, it takes a lot to bring out. So, and she did that. I came out. I'm still trying to call. I'm still coming out, and so when I did um, that task and it got to, and she said, yes, this is it. Philo, you have to do this is how you do it. And so because of the details, the strategy and so all that she puts into so many things, like you now wonder now she's people see things like you see things like the surface, like right in front of me now it's a cream color wall, but I so she wants you to see deeper than it is. And this is what a lot of people don't do. A lot of people don't think. So now this me before would not think. I would just I want to be alone. I don't want to mix up with anybody, not because I don't like them, but because I just felt I should be alone and just look around. I observe. I like to observe things, and so now I can relate with people. I can talk and then even engage in conversations. Even now, I can even come out here and even speak to you.
I think the network has frozen on her end. And while
With
we're waiting,
people
wait.
and just relate. Come out. And in our journey together, there was a time she said, Philo, do you know you can be a counselor? And I didn't see it like, counselor. And so, but when I went through a series of the 30 days challenge, yes. And now, and I got to see. Now, I find people are comfortable telling me things. I find people now, and I sit down and I sometimes prefer, we come to a conclusion that works out. And so when I got to, I started thinking about this. Now, this is something that was there. It, but I didn't know that I was doing it, and somebody sees it and then now brings that thing out. So now I find comfort and joy, like just counseling people, and so that's it. So now I want to um be very intentional about everything that I do. So that is
Oh, amazing, amazing, amazing,
don't
amazing.
they have a whole lot inside of them and they don't know how to bring that thing out, to express it. So the future me now is will ensure that I have uh, this is somebody took out time to do this for me. I'm going to pay forward by ensuring that if I see anybody that's like me, I will take the time and the patience to bring that person out. So, I thank you so much for this opportunity. And this is another now pulling me out to say something. So
I
thank you.
you. I really celebrate you, Philo. I celebrate you so much.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
know you are also joining.
Thank you.
Celebrate you. And let me tell us, it's not a joke. It's not easy. And I loved what you talked about, Philo. A process,
Yes.
and that many of us are not patient with going through the process. So your weakness can be a building block for your success. Look at who she has become and who she's going to be in the future. It's just giving yourself the opportunity to do the work and go through the process. Really go through the process. Um, having Philo on this show, for those who know her before, this is a miracle. She would have disappeared. She wouldn't have come on, especially when I didn't tell her the questions I was going to ask her. I said, I'm not going to
Yes.
tell you anything. I just want you to
Yes.
come out. your truth. I want you to speak from your heart. And when you speak from your heart, people can identify, people can relate, and people can be inspired, right? So
Yes.
there are, no matter who you think you are, people can learn from you. Oftentimes we look down on ourselves. We're not kind on ourselves, and that's why we're talking about celebrating yourself. So celebrating yourself, like I keep saying, is also about the party. It's about what you do with you, what you do with your talents, what you do with your strength, what you do with your weaknesses. It's all about loving you and giving yourself 1,001 opportunities to be the best version of yourself. Because if you decide to be anyone else than you, then you're a copy version. And a copy version can never be as valuable as an authentic version. And that's what I want you to always remember. You are unique and you need to celebrate yourself and see the growth process, right? And I'm going to ask you two more questions, and then I'll let you go because I know you're very busy in Osho State,
Yeah,
getting ready for the elections tomorrow. All the best.
exactly. Yes. Thank
So
you, ma'am.
I have two questions. As the question I want to ask you is, now, I remember we were having conversation. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember when. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I asked. I know you started writing a book. That was like last year, and I didn't hear anything about the book
I
again.
didn't get.
There was you started writing a book. Was it last year? And because I know you a book. Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can. No.
Okay. I said you started the process of writing a book,
Okay.
and that was sometime last year. I was with you. I think it was when we were in Lagos, and I looked at her and I said, "Philo, what happened to the book? I didn't hear anything about the book again." And then she told me, she said, she now smiled. She said, I left it. I said, well, you can't leave a task undone. You have to complete the book. And I'm super proud that the book is almost ready. Is ready for pre-order now, and
Yeah.
it will soon be out. So tell us a little bit about the book, what to expect in the book, and what really inspired you to write that story.
Okay. So now, funny enough, I wrote that book in 2001,
Mm,
and it was a story I just wrote and kept it aside and didn't think that I should proceed further. And so, after the sessions, I think it was in December last year, I just felt okay. This has to come out, and I started. But going to the publishers and all that, it's man, it's another story for another day. But now this book is about a young lady called Zola. Zola had everything going on for her. Her parents were she came from a very close knitted family. Unfortunately for her, she got married to the wrong person by the name of Bob, and there's a whole lot of story about GBV, how he was cheating on her. She found out his hair beating her, and the whole lot. So this book is for so many people who feel they have a friend. There's this person somewhere that you're so close to, and then when it comes to make decisions in life, a lot of young ladies feel that they're too close to a man and they feel that he's so much of a brother to me. I would rather marry somebody else. So it's about
mm,
decision making, making the
mm,
right choice. She got married to the wrong person and see where she landed. Meanwhile, she had a very good friend who, if she had married, they would have spent forever after happily and raised children the right way. But she ended up with this guy who he ended up infecting her. So he just took away her self-esteem, her life, her money, and everything, and she went back to ground zero. So it's a very interesting journey. I want each and every one of you to purchase the book, and then and I wanted to know how it would end for Zola. Will she get her feet back? Will
mm,
life treat her good,
mm,
fairly? Will she pass away?
mm,
Will it go back to the love of her life?
mm,
Or will she find justice? Remember, I
mm.
heard that there's GBV here, SGBV, decision making, focus, friendship, and the whole lot. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
This is huge. I just listening to you, I'm like, I need to grab copies of this book. And
Please
so,
do.
interested in pre-ordering, please tell us how to pre-order.
You could send the pre-order is 5,000. You can
Okay,
send payments to Philomena Talatu Zamani at First Bank 30063544414.
can you take that again,
I'll take
please?
that again.
Okay,
Philomena Talatu Zamani, First
okay,
Bank account number. It's 30063544414. Three
okay,
zero zero 63544414. First Bank.
okay. So what you can do is also to put it in the comment section and post it, the
Okay.
amount, and then how to purchase, and post it on the
Okay.
comment. Everyone can see it. So if you're just joining in, welcome to Friday Night Hangout. Tonight we're having conversation on how to leverage on your weaknesses for growth. We've looked at identifying your weaknesses, conducting a personal SWOT analysis, and really looking at how to close your gap. And then we're spotlighting an Amazon from Kaduna State, Philomena Zamani, and she has told us her
Thank
journey, how she's been able to walk from a place of uncertainty, a place of not being sure, a place of shyness, to a place where she's self confident, she self loves, and she's willing to use her story to inspire other people. And she also has a book which is almost ready to be published, or is in the publishers and will soon be out. And there is a pre order rate. She's going to put the details in the comment section and share with us. And I would encourage you, please do grab a copy of the book. She's talked about how the book has to do a lot with decision making, gender based violence. For those of us wondering, um, gender based violence, how can I deal with it? This is something we barely talk about. There's a culture of silence. There's a culture of silence in our climb. People don't want to talk about it, so that it doesn't look as if that you feel that you don't want to talk about it. Da, 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 da. Listen, you're not alone. A lot of women are hiding and dying and suffering in silence. So get this and get empowered. And you can also gift it. You can actually gift it to someone around you, to young girls you're mentoring. That's the essence of a book. A book is, it's something that never, the knowledge in it can never go extinct, right? There's always something to learn from the book, no matter how old it is. It's a book of treasure. There's always something to learn from the book. So I've put in the details in the comment section. The name of the book. You can pre-order the account details. So please pay into the account details. And then when they do that, can you put your number out so they can contact you to know, um, they can contact you to know if you've seen the maybe evidence of payment or whatsoever. So what number can they reach you on? Do you want to do
Okay.
number or email address? Please put it in the chat box as well, so that it's easy for people. So while she's doing that, I want to thank everyone. I see you, Nelo. I see you, Esther. I see you, Stella. I see you, Olivia. Exist. Thank you so much for joining in. It's really been an amazing time having this conversation. I want to know what value you're taking away from this conversation tonight. Let me know one thing you're committing to do. Remember, we are talking about celebrating yourself, and we're talking about leveraging on your weaknesses as an opportunity for, you need to practice self-love and be willing to do the work. And you heard what Philo said, she went through the process. And if you're thinking about, if you need support, that's why I'm here. You can go to my website, www.joyonyeso.com. There are a number of free resources for you to use there. I have a number of free resources. You want to start a business? How do you start your business? I have a free resource. You want to learn how to practice gratitude? You want to learn how to center yourself and be kind to yourself? I have free resources that you can use on the website. And then if you also want to go through my program, remember Philo talked about the 30 days abundance challenge. Now, the 30 days abundance challenge is a course, it's an audio course that I created to help you to discover yourself, to ignite your passion, and to also keep you in movement. No, so in 30 days, you get to discover you, discover what makes you happy. So every day you get between 5 to 15 minutes of audio that you play at your own time. It just drops in your email box every day at a particular time. You decide the time of the day you want to listen to it. And I tell you, your life cannot be the same after going through this 30 days course. You heard Philomena. The other guest I'm going to be bringing on next week would also be a phenomenal woman who has gone through this course. I want you to see the results you can get when you invest in yourself. In our climb, we do not take serious personal development. Personal development is very foundational to business growth. Have you asked yourself why you give 5 persons the same ingredients and give them everything to cook a meal, but the meal turns out different? The taste of the meal turns out different. What is the difference in all of them? The skill set. You knowing when to put what. It matters a lot. And that's what we need to do with ourselves. We need to give ourselves the opportunity to grow. And so I'm offering you tonight the 30 Days Abundance Challenge. Now, this course is power packed. 30 days, you will go through a self-driven course. You get to set actions yourself. You get tools. Now, I give you a template of how you can set your priorities, how you can eliminate distractions, how you can identify what makes you happy. Some of you ask me, how do I know myself? In this 30 days, you get the tools to know you, to understand.
Exactly.
In this 30 days, my goodness, you can't take this course and remain the same. And I want to ask you one last thing. Look, can you tell us one key thing for you about the 30 days challenge? What would you say to them about the 30 days challenge course?
Now, it's igniting. It brings you out. That's what I would say. Now, there are lots of dormant traits, that there are things in you that you wouldn't know that you have. It's just like Moses in the Bible, that when God asked him, "What did you have in your hands?" He didn't even know that he had something in his hands. He didn't know that even that what he even had in his hands. Not knowing is one thing, and not knowing that you have something that you don't even know what to do with it. So this would bring out, like, for me, it's an aha moment. You get to know what you who you are, what you're supposed to do, and then be that thing who you're supposed to be. Honestly, because living life and not fulfilling destiny is let me use the word, is a sin. You shouldn't
Mm.
be. God has brought us to this world, and if we don't fulfill life and destiny, then it's a waste of life and resources and all that God has given us. So if this is an opportunity for you to really get to know who you truly. It's a self rediscovering moment. I hope everyone registers for it, and you would come back and say testimonies. Remember, I said I wrote this book in 2001, and I didn't even see that it was anything. So it was like a stick in the hand, and that in Moses' hand, that didn't know that he was supposed to do something with it. So please wake up and be who God has asked you to be, and who God has made you to be. Register, and the rest is history.
Thank you so much, Philomena. Let me
Thank
allow
you,
you
ma.
to. It's been a pleasure having you, and I hope we'll
Thank
get
you so
to have
much.
the show some other time. Keep
Thank you so
looking.
much for this opportunity. I thank you. I
All
really
right.
appreciate that.
Bye.
Thank you, ma. Thank you,
Thank
ma.
you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Really amazing. And so I want to encourage you, just like Philomena said, it's like having a stick in your hand and not knowing that Moses had a stick. He felt he didn't have anything. When God sent him to liberate Israel, he was wondering, what do I have in my hand? I have nothing. And that's how some of us are today. We just look down on ourselves. We feel that we have nothing. Listen, God never leaves anyone empty. He always deposits something in you that you can use to be the best version of yourself. So I encourage you to register for the 30 Days Abundance Challenge. And the 30 Days Abundance Challenge is an audio course, it is self paced. So you take it at your own time. You can register for the course and you take it at your own time. Every day, just giving you a little nugget every day, a little nugget. So you just bring out, I would always advise, create 30 minutes in a day. And I say 30 minutes because when you listen to the audio, you reflect, you write commitments, and you take action. So 30 minutes every day for 30 days. Can you just give yourself this gift, this second half of the year, and you will not be the same? And the cost is, it's not expensive, it's very affordable. It's just 30,000 naira, which is just about 1,000 naira every day. So just imagine depositing 1,000 naira for your self-development every day. That's not too much. That's not too much. The non-monetary returns value you get from enrolling in this course is just super, super, super. Really super, super, super. So I encourage you, go to www.joyonyeso.com and just go to courses. You would see the 30 days abundance challenge amongst everything. Or you can just put on the website, that is abundance challenge, and it's right there. And it's just what? 30,000 naira. Are you willing to invest in yourself? This is the best investment you can give to yourself at this second half of the year. Invest in yourself, invest in yourself, and invest in yourself. You can't go wrong when you invest in yourself. The greatest form of investment you can have today is when you invest in the human resources. Invest in yourself first and give yourself the opportunity to be the best version of yourself. So I hope you really got value. I want to appreciate you all. I see you all. And don't forget to pre-order Philomena's book. Her details are there. Please do pre-order her book. And if you have challenges pre-ordering the book, or you're interested in pre-ordering the book, please do send us a message. Of course, you can send us a message. Just go to my website in the comment section, drop a message, or even you can just direct message me on Facebook, on LinkedIn and YouTube, and I would respond to you. It's always a pleasure to have you. I hope you did get value, and I'll ask you, please continue being the best version of yourself. Celebrate yourself, celebrate yourself, and celebrate yourself. So it's always a pleasure. See you, Emily. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, DJ Floxy, and for everyone that made our time to join us tonight. Thank you so much. And please remember to celebrate yourself. And so I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. Next week, Friday is another date, and then we continue our conversation on celebrating yourself, and it's going to really be awesome. It's really, really going to be awesome because next week, Friday, we have another Amazon in the house, and you wouldn't guess who she is. So come in next week, Friday. And until I see you next week, Friday, keep celebrating yourself, keep in action, and remember to register for the 30 Days Abundance Challenge. Go to www.joyonyeso.com, go to the courses, and you'll see the 30 Days Abundance Challenge. And voila, you have all that you need for your personal development. The first step, I would always encourage people to take that first step and invest in yourself. 30,000 naira only for a life-changing journey. And it's all self-paced at your own time. I love Celebrate, and I honor you. And for now, it's bye till I see you next week, Friday. Thank you to my amazing team who helped to make this possible, to those working behind the scene that have made this possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to share with you Philomena's email address and contact number just before I leave, so that you can order her book. I love to celebrate our own. One of the things we do so well in this tribe is that we celebrate ourselves. We win together. We win together, so we celebrate ourselves. So the month of July is dedicated to celebrating the amazing power women in our tribe who are doing so well, who are breaking the barriers and are really soaring. I remember what Philo said. She said it is a process and it is a coming out for her, and she's still doing the work. I'm still doing the work, and I encourage you all to keep doing the work. Don't give up on yourself. Practice self-love and do one thing for yourself this weekend to celebrate you. Till I see you next weekend. It's bye for now. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think technology. It's Friday night hangout. Let's have the song come
Oh
in.
yeah, it's a Friday night.